Want to avoid that one. Okay. Finally, going to Dragonshire. Supernova takes first pick. This is going to be the map choice of GLuck. Very smart choice, I think, given how Supernova has been playing around aggression rather than macro play. It feels like in this series, to be honest, Supernova is going back to their open division roots rather than playing to what they showed us in their first 3 match weeks, which was mostly macro play and global commitments. We saw the Dahaka, sure, but they didn't play the Dahaka as if it was a global hero. They played it as if it was, they were trying to look for team fights and got punished multiple times there by the ETC. Maiev still retains permanent first ban status. We'll find out briefly, or shortly here, what the adaptation is going to be, what they were thinking about throughout all that time.
They do ban Rainer, Case and Genji out there as well. Force One is the one that made some changes. It was Luridin before, Alex Raza, or even Irel in the order of game number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I think you can ban the Irel here. You can also ban the Phoenix.
Ban Phoenix if you're not planning on using him. I think GLuck does want to use it.
Well, they're not going to get him now. He will be first picked almost certainly here.
I think Mal.
Malfurion is the other choice.
Malfi can actually be the best one against GLuck. Their first pick is GLuck's first pick is basically Malfurion, near 100%.
Supernova has picked Phoenix first every time they've had opportunities to do so. They will take the Malfurion adaptation this time, which will swap us into very likely Phoenix on the other side. Asgard can look for a dominating matchup in the top lane now that the Irel has been banned. You can also look to control global with the Dahaka. That's not Asgard's style. That's not something he's very familiar with, but you've chosen this map into your opponent that likes to run double globals on this map, so maybe that's something you want to lock up. Take the DPSs here instead, which is basically exactly what we saw from them earlier on in this series, so it's not a surprise. Supernova now with not a lot of choices for damage. I mean, we already have how many? 5 DPSs taken away from the game from them. Sergeant Hammer is the go-to, and that is worrisome.
And the global to back it up for their macro power with the siege from Hammer. They wanted to grab a DPS before the next ban phase, making sure they have choice of Hammer before they are locked in without the Hammer, because that was, they did see that ban coming out from GLuck in the first game as a third ban.
I love this Garrosh ban. Supernova, I think, now they're in a situation where they're like, well, we could ban the Johanna, definitely going to pick that, but then they'll take like an Anubarak, and then what do we have as tanks? The tank choke is real here now. Ban Deckard. Don't think that GLuck really cared too much about that one. Obviously, it can be good to lock down the Sergeant Hammer, but
oftentimes this map goes very late game, and towards late game, Deckard sustain is actually really good. And out heal Malfurion.
It's definitely true.
With some of the talents that you can actually do AoE or Greater Potion.
I think Stukov is still strong here. So is, honestly, Rhaegar. It's not going to be the Johanna pick, though. It's going to be Tyrael Sonya. And that really leads itself into a Rhaegar pick, old school style.
Sonya Rhaegar, double camp timing, Dragonshire.
Yeah.
Seems very old style, you did mention. But Rhaegar is not the same though. So Rhaegar is actually like close to tier 2 right now at the moment. With buffed healing, but nerfed Ancestral is actually really big. So to block that Bloodlust timing, which it seems like Rhaegar from GLuck, they do bring the Thrall for disengage with the Sunthering. I do like this choice a lot.
Look at Supernova's draft. And then think about potential synergy here. There's not a whole lot. To take first pick and to deliberate that much on taking first pick over map pick, then to end up with a draft like this versus a draft on the enemy side that looks very synergized. Will be the Karazim. After seeing those last 2 picks, I think it's a pretty good choice. I don't think this is what Supernova had in mind. And it ends up being a really awkward 4-man. Against strong wave clear, Hanzo, Phoenix, Tyrael for shielding, which is going to make it even tougher to break through. Like, Sergeant Hammer's value is going to be very low in the 4-man. The burst is going to be useful for Phoenix and Hanzo post 10. But look at Haben, man. He's had a permanent expression of disappointment throughout the series. He's been underperforming. His team was massively favored, you could say, to win this. You know, some would even say with a 3-0. Now they're down 1-2. And with a draft that looks, I want to say, underwhelming. I don't know what the out is. Haben will play the Johanna that I begged and asked for earlier. One of his safer heroes where he's not playing hard engage, but I think it's a product of the Garrosh ban more than his own choice. I'm sounding pretty negative on Supernova right now, but let's see if they can turn things around.
We do have the big burst from GLuck, and a lot of sustain from Supernova. Can they actually sustain the damage, the burst that's going to be pouring out from Karazim, Sonya, and Hanzo? Will be the tough choice. Phantom, if he gets caught 2 or more times in this game, especially late game, that may just be a Dragon Knight into Keep. I think having lots of pressure as a Hammer there. Start early with the siege damage. They also control the global, so you don't want to lose your lane control in the beginning of the game. That's something that you never want to have with this team comp for Supernova.
The problem is that I just don't think they're ever going to get it. I don't think they will ever get lane control of the 4-man. They've got a bad matchup in the top lane versus Sonya as well. Obviously, Dahaka can win it, but it's dependent on, you know, some really tight tongue grabs. But if you take control of the 4-man with this composition with the Sergeant Hammer, it means that you're putting yourself at risk. And we'll see every now and then when Sergeant Hammer does start to try to put pressure on the walls, the rotations coming through the threat. They're going to invade now with a Johanna. Not a bad choice.
Even with a Dahaka?
Yeah, heavy commitment here. And the only thing they lose, actually, is the top shrine, which is only going to be temporary. That was kind of a late rotation from Phoenix to respond. They really wanted to try to control Dragon Knight early. Okay, this is greedy. If he gets interrupted on his warp,
warp interrupted.
Yeah, he's dead. What in the world? That was embarrassing, actually. They had top control
yes.
too. Like, there was literally no reason.
And Sonya is going to win very likely against the Haka oftentimes. Can just soak with Whirlwind on the minion wave and then could go back to the top shrine.
Well, GLuck is in trouble now. Asgard does actually take a trade against the trait of the Haka, so ends up getting out healed there and will be forced to well. I think obviously was tongue grabbed as well, but unfortunate here for GLuck. They could bounce back, but the whole momentum has been shifted away from them now, from that death of Overlord. I know everyone wants a game 5, and, you know, that's what I want too.
I think that may be happening with the play from Phoenix. We just saw.
Too early to say, of course, with this game just being 3 minutes in. Unfortunately, no way to channel here, but they are looking for the hammer pick. Bentham stays sieged up way too long.
Sieging himself over there at that position.
Did you also
was the wrong move?
Did you also notice how Haben approached that? Like, he went and used Condemn, not even on the minion wave, like on top of the hammer, as if he was trying to stun the hammer, like as almost as if he couldn't believe that his teammate would siege there. He gets nothing from that.
That was like what we see from AI oftentimes.
Yeah.
Not trying to talk down on the flows. Actually, that was one of the plays.
I think this is just, this series has gotten so tense that players
maybe
are
they're losing focus.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're just losing focus at the moment.
Small individual mistakes here. Well, big individual mistakes, but in the grand scheme of the game, like, we'll end up looking small probably by the end of it.
We'll see. This Dragon Char game will be one of the longer ones for sure. So they have to get themselves, they basically have to get themselves together, man. They can't fall apart already.
Yeah. Well, in the top lane, Kirisaku's going to struggle against Sonya. We are going to see the Sunshrine contest in just a moment. Knows Overlord's headed mid for a potential channel. Is going for it now. Tongue Grab versus the Ancient Spear. That is like the determining factor. Ancient Spear has more range. No chat getting blown up here. Actually, almost walked back into the Phoenix queue. If you hit the Spear or the Tongue Grab, you determine that victory in the top. Sonya is going to be able to out-sustain Dahaka minus the trait, so when they do decide to walk away from the shrine, she can push the lane. That's why the lane's pushed up there. They're losing the 4-man right now because Hammer is so vulnerable to this composition. So even if they don't channel the Dragon Knight, GLuck is taking small advantages every single minion wave. They're eventually, you know, starting to do damage to the wall. But it's a very passive game, as this series has minus mistakes look to be. Okay, this is greedy from Roxer.
It could have been worse, but because Supernova actually made a really great invade with the Haka coming down to the camp on the side of GLuck, they're not too far away. They also got a kill. And the Haka actually winning lots of the trade. Maybe we're having lots of spear miss from Sonya.
Yeah, I think that's actually probably what's happening.
Once you miss the spear, you can't get that extra rage, and you can't really have enough for the Whirlwind sometimes to sustain. So a lot on the spear. With basically a skill that's going to determine how good you are on the hero.
Even the Thrall rotation up makes it very scary. But the 4-man being controlled means that GLuck will get 10 first, just slightly here. As you can see, you know, the channel is real for Supernova, but GLuck is just ignoring it completely in the bot lane for the most part, and starting to do damage to this wall. They are going to retake bottom now. I wish they actually had more of a view of the top lane, because it looks like, as you say, the tongue grabs are hitting. Once again, they will, but this is a bait. Kirisaku is going to die. He tries a burrow stock. He does get the burrow stock off, actually.
No, Overlord finds him after. That was such in a panic mode.
Yeah, that was just a click to the left.
Where's the bush? Where's the bush?
Yeah.
I just have to get to the one nearest by.
But yeah, I mean, clearly the matchup is going towards Kirisaku's side. He's such a good solo lane player, but they turn that against him here. Such a weird thing to see Dahaka dominate Sonya. The Sonya needs gank help. Either way, because he does survive and, you know, gets onto that Sunshrine, this is going to be a moment where we go back to neutral. You know what is really weird?
What?
Is it's actually not BFG coming out for Sergeant Hammer, so just extra
like
damage.
They actually want to
Napalm.
have more sieging, because so far they did not really get too much value out of Hammer. And once they actually do, ooh, missed shield there, missed protection, but does have some.
Oh my god, he gets away and they're gonna collapse on this.
Cracker onto roll. That's
huge.
On.
Huge overcommitment here by Supernova. Sick plays by Overlord. Big punish. Right now you feel like a god as Overlord when you are able to make that happen. This could be a Dragon Knight. No one's actually able to come up here on top, so Asgard's going to have to make a big play with the spear here. He popped his heroic. He does hit the spear. They clear this wave.
Rotation up with the Karazim.
Yeah,
so
can Tyrael squat this? I think so. I think actually they can get this. They can get this, I think. Going to be very close. No, they're actually rotating down to try to get a kill on the support instead.
Like, No Chat has been in this push for a minute now.
Yeah. Okay. Roxer was lower than I thought. False alarm. We're not getting it.
For Supernova with the BFG, they don't really have too much poke other than Hammer. They don't really have anything like Hanzo. And BFG is mostly to pick up the kill, do the last bit of damage that you lacked during the team fight. In this case, you don't really need that, I guess. So that's why they actually have another one with the Thundering. Maybe that could be another tool to pick up the kill instead. But No Chat is going to have a hard time diving in.
Ooh, this is a clown fiesta game, man.
Look at all those things.
Well, we need to watch
by.
this fight down here too. Overlord almost got caught. Like, oh boy. Okay, well, moving on. Napalm Strike being very good at burning down this fort. Bentham's got a numbers advantage down here. Overlord's trying to flank, but the mines have actually spotted where he's at, so No Chat on the wrong side of the map, however. Earth Ally tossed down. Body block is real. No Chat just trying to survive here. Asgard being slowed, and he will get away. They cannot turn onto Kirisaku. The isolation is used, and this fort does go down. We're going to another really long game, I think, GLuck here.
Maybe all the way to game 5.
It could be.
We'll see. This time stunned and Thunder does connect, and that will be kill secured. Finally, they land all the CCs together.
But if you blink, you'll miss it, because Sonya's getting taken out top lane as well. We do see the Dragon Knight Unleash is completed.
First Dragon Knight of the game.
Yeah, 10 minutes. This is going to be a fort. They've already gotten the bottom fort, so this is going to push them towards a faster 16. The Planet Cracker pick here did get them that kill when No Chat overextended mid, but
this is where you really get the value from Napalm. Bentham pushes a little bit. They need to get more than this, though.
yeah.
Leading. And the reason why they picked up Hammer was for Siege. They couldn't really do too much at the bottom. They just got support.
Okay, No Chat once again is going to get out with his Wind Fury. Arrow.
See you later.
I cannot make an argument as to why that was correct. Oops, sorry.
Just in case it connects, it could have been.
If it connects, who follows up? They were already like a whole screen away. Like, even if it hit at max range, I don't think anybody dies.
That's more than a max range again. No Chat getting focused. That is the target.
Okay, gets out. I mean, how many heroics did he eat?
2.
Sank. They need to turn on this. Whoa, things got a little bit dark there for a second.
We were in the Dragon Knight for a second, but that's a Phoenix down.
Yeah, we're watching a first-person view here now of Bentham. Perhaps mistakenly, but either way. They end up winning this trade. Supernova has total control over the game now, and this is when Sergeant sieging, you know, Napalm, Siege Mode, Movement, Hammer gets the most out of the hero pick. When you're massively ahead, you have camps that are giving you spell armor. You have so many minions just leading the charge. You feel like the king, you feel like the commander, and the Hammer, the sergeant, if you will, in this case, and you win harder in these moments. We need to see GLuck use their heroics together in tandem rather than separately for no gains. I feel like I'm watching on the side of GLuck in this game. I feel like everyone's trying to be in a highlight reel, and no one will be because none of the heroics are being used efficiently.
That's also because Supernova, they're so globally widespread. And GLuck, they have to respond, but when they're all together, they can maybe initiate a team fight. But Hammer can just go away with a Z.
All right, there's no Sank. They should not be trying to fight this. Sundering in a choke point. 7-sided isn't going to do any damage. It's only going to delay the inevitable, which is that this team fight is won.
The scene is so
by
good
Supernova.
with Malkavian.
Planet Cracker in the choke is way too late.
Gets caught with because of that Planet Cracker as well. So
Without Sank, this is just a no-go. There was no communication that Sank was 15 seconds away.
So lots of mistakes being done, being made by GLuck in this game. Hammer seems like he's just having a fun time now. Initially what we thought with the Hammer getting lost at the first few minutes. Oh, did Supernova lose this one? Let's try to find meanings behind the Hammer pick and not really getting siege damage too far. They're only getting some macro control, but GLuck was the one that was actually getting confused of what Supernova was doing. Yeah, so they're the ones lost now.
No Chat is the hero of this game. Like, he's brought the synergy back for Supernova. He's had several great sunderings. He's played into GLuck's mistakes, their commitment to multiple heroics on him in the mid lane. He's survived so many times. He's brought them to He's turned fights by his Sunderings, by his survivability, which is what Thrall ends up doing right now. Is he feels like kind of like a taunt in himself. Feels like he's out of position, but he's not. He survives.
He's
Supernova, yeah, Supernova's gonna hit 10 now, or sorry, 20, 10 times 2. Double the power here on the Storm talents.
You're right on the math, and the reason why they're the big level gap right now is because GLuck was rotating together so much. They lost so much of their wave experience.
And the hammer as well, you know, the win more that she provides with this.
But they're going for core with
oh,
the 20.
Absolutely. Like, this game is over. They're 4 levels up. They have 20. Sank is just going to, again, delay the inevitable. That was our best Sank we've seen all game, and that's saying a lot. Planet Cracker here is not going to do anything. Tyrael explodes. Myson is the next target. KCB, 7 sides to stay alive, but does nothing. Asgard suicides in to try to heal up. He's going to be blown up here. KCB will be the next to go down, and that is going to be GG. We are going to a Game 5 here as Supernova brings it back. Is this our first Game 5? I think it's our first Game 5 this season. Haben still not impressed with himself today.
What's he doing? He's lost, clearly. It says...
Maybe he's got some, like, a cut on his face he doesn't want to show. He's just trying to hide. We'll never know, but... It was not one from the Sergeant Hammer pick. It was not one in draft. It was one off of No Chat, turning a lot of these fights into their favor, making the right calls, and then just playing really safe, maximizing Sergeant Hammer's effectiveness after winning fights. They were behind the entire early game, but in the late game, they really turned it around. The mid to late game, I should say, because we didn't really go to Supreme late game there, with some good fights. Like, No Chat walks away with 1 death that whole game. And if you look at his hero damage, it's also quite small compared to, you know, the Phoenix and the Hanzo. But what's more important is how many stuns he was able to get, how long he was able to sustain. Thrall he played as a secondary DPS, but what he really is a melee assassin slash warrior. He's tanky, he has self-sustain, he's a top laner. Generally speaking, when he's played as an assassin like this, he can be used as bait, as you said earlier. And many times that worked out very well for No Chat. You bait, you turn the fight with a reverse sundering, rotations come in. So 2 deaths on the side of Supernova. Very dominant Game 4.
And for GLuck, they were looking for lots of lucky skill shots. Planet Cracker, arrows, not really used in real team fights. It was mostly for, let's try to toss one and see what happens. We saw lots of NA arrows because of that. Planet Cracker used way too late when the team fight is already over and you kill yourself because of that. I think they are having a really tough time at the moment. Maybe something's going on within the team. But looking at the momentum, it seems very likely that GLuck was just going to take the series back to themselves with a comeback. But I think right now what GLuck basically needs is a very good shot caller. Okay, we lost that game. Let's just drop it. We're going to new game. The winner actually takes the series. So make sure to actually bring back your mentality and go into a fresh new map. I think that's what GLuck needs right now for the new draft.
Yeah. Game 5, we have Towers of Doom left, Braxis, and one more map. Cursed Hollow.
Yes.
Those are the 3 maps that remain. As Supernova, you're probably choosing map here. I think Cursed or Towers of Doom is where you want to take it. As long as you can play the slower map, play kind of like you played on Dragonshire. Take defensive fights, not be the aggressor. Look at the difference when Haben on Johanna versus the aggressive tanks. You could see the difference. He's still not satisfied himself with the pick, but he does bring it out. So I think you don't want to go to Braxis, actually. That's like...
Yeah, that is the only map
because too complex.
Yes, and basically you can pretty much lose from the draft. Braxis, I think that is the map you can actually lose from the draft. And that's actually the sole reason why Korean pros especially does not like to play that map, especially Gen G. They always ban Braxis because something can happen crazy in draft. And oftentimes with their mechanics, they can always turn it back. But on that map, they can actually get caught, which is what happened against Blossom a long time ago. So they never want to play that. And so far, how how Supernova is actually playing it, especially game 4, they're controlling the macro and GLuck falls apart automatically. I think going to a bigger map like Hearst and Towers of Doom, perfect choices.
Well, I mean, Supernova has been really slow with their decisions thus far, so
maybe
I'm guessing we're gonna chill out. Maybe do a podcast over here.
You want to have some? I do have some very very lame heroes joke.
Go ahead.
What do you call an ETC at the bottom lane?
Hold on, let me see if I can guess this. No, I don't know.
Moobot. Ha ha! Do not clip that, guys. I will follow you and chase you if you clip that.
Wow. I don't have any.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's. I think that's a better.
I was just like, no. Yeah. Yeah. Does ETC even moo? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard him do that. He rocks.
He rocks.
Like,
yes.
We're rocking and talks like this, but he never goes like or anything like that. You know.
Well.
He's like a cow that stands on 2 legs, so I can never imagine him making any sounds like that.
Like the cow level from Diablo?
I don't know anything about that.
Really? You never played Diablo 2?
I did type there is no cow level into StarCraft before, but that's about it. I've seen videos of it on the internet, but I have not been there myself. Okay, I'll be honest with you on
Next
that.
time I'll take you to the Tristram and bring you all the way, and then a little bit have a little more understanding about Decker Kane, what he actually does. What he actually does is he gets trapped and makes everyone's life into a miserable place. And sometimes when he talks for such a long time, you just click forever, and then your mouse goes out. You have to go ask the PC Bang guy, can I get a new mouse? That's actually what happened so many times. There are so many community posts because of him. He talked for such a long time. You just keep on pressing the mouse. Oh, please, it's in English too. Back in the time, so you have no idea what they're saying oftentimes. For all the Koreans out there, and you just keep on clicking.
It's so funny, actually.
He talks forever, man.
He does.
He's always trapped. I don't know why. He can't really fight. And he goes out there and gets caught all the time.
Why doesn't he have teleport scrolls in...
He does.
No, I mean in Heroes of the Storm.
When he bees Hearts back home, he does have the portal.
Yeah, but he should... I feel like he should... I don't know. Imagine if like that was one of his heroics. He could like portal anywhere on the map.
Anywhere on the map? He's
anywhere.
A global?
Yeah. But
That's broken.
But he wouldn't gain that much value from it because he's a healer and he can't split push. He does like really bad wave clear. I mean, it's okay, but it's slow. Ah, thank God we're map choices open.
My Moobot was broken.
Exclamation mark, silence, GLuck. Okay. Towers of Doom will be the map. So no surprise here. Supernova picks this one.